Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Vago Muradian here at the Atlantic Council, where we are meeting with the Czech Republic's Deputy Defense Minister, Daniel Kostoval. Sir, thanks very much for meeting with us.
Yeah, hello, nice to meet you.
What are your top priorities here as you meet with senior American officials? Obviously, Czech Republic is focused on increasing defense spending. What are some of the things you're going to be talking with your U.S. counterparts about?
Well, definitely I will be informing our U.S. partners about our plans when it comes to the increase of the defense budget, but also what exactly we are planning when it comes to the modernization of our army and when it comes to the beefing up the army. So one of our key plans is build the brigade task force, new brigade task force, for example.
The alliance at the Wales Summit endorsed 2% of GDP, as well as 20% of that figure that would be focused on modernization. What are some of the key modernization priorities? You already mentioned, for example, that Army programs are key. Specifically within that portfolio, what are some of the select capabilities you want to invest in?
Well, we definitely will be focusing in coming years on the ground forces. We have to build new heavy brigade, and that's why we have to invest in modernization projects like new infantry fighting vehicle. In the future, it will be also about replacing old Soviet tanks T-72 by new upgraded Western origin tanks, for example. We are investing in wheeled armored personnel carriers. We will be investing in new artillery systems. So lots of stuff we have to replace and modernize.
You were also talking about, for example, software to improve your artillery capabilities as well that you'd like to partner with the United States on. When you look at the challenge of military modernization, one of the, even though you're focused on modernization, manpower is also very important to you. You're trying to grow the size of the force to 30,000, but you also want to improve its skills, and you're partnering with Germany in a novel way to do that. Talk to us about the partnership you have with Germany to build the leadership skills, because you've made the point that without those leadership skills, you end up losing.
Well, yeah, you are right. I mean, we are definitely a part of several multinational efforts when it comes to the multinational units. But lately we agreed within the framework of NATO, we agreed that we will dedicate one of our brigades to German division, and they will exercise together and have staff exercises together. And as you said, it's very important also for our officers to have the ability to participate in commanding a division level unit, not only a brigade level, because in Czech Republic we have only brigade level right now. And for us it's important to train our officers also to be capable of commanding bigger units than the brigade.
What, as a country with a budget of about $2 billion and a population of about 10.5 million, even though last year you were the fastest growing European economy, what are your, how would you like the NATO alliance to help you in your strategic long-term defense planning?
Well, definitely in NATO there is traditionally very good defense planning. This is a vehicle to lead the member states to develop the desired capabilities. But of course, we are in these days having in NATO a discussion what to do qualitatively more and how to improve capabilities European-wide on level. And of course, here we see a crucial role of SACEUR and integrated military staff in SHAPE and Brussels to help member states navigate in their capability building effort to really go for the weapon systems which will exactly fit in the overall NATO approach and strategy.
Obviously, Russia has been a challenge. If you look at Czech history, there is a lot of focus still on Russia. Obviously, Rex Tillerson in Moscow meeting with his counterparts as we talk now. Tell us a little bit about what, from a Czech perspective, the NATO approach toward Russia has to be from a strategic standpoint, not just a tactical or a policy standpoint?
I would say that the best way, what we can do to have a stable relationship with Russia is to be strong at home and patient towards them, and really stand on our principles, and at the same time establish a predictable and understandable behavior on both sides.
There have been some concerns about some U.S. statements by the President. Obviously, a lot of very strong support from Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State, from Jim Mattis, as well as Nikki Haley and others in the American political establishment. What are some of the expectations as a NATO member from the Czech Republic, but also your neighbors, in terms of the summit meeting that's coming up in May? Does there need to be more robust support for the NATO alliance, do you think? And what are some of the agenda items that have to be worked when everybody meets in Brussels?
Well, as always, when there is a new U.S. president, it's important that he meets with his partners in NATO. Of course, we would like to hear from President Trump his priorities and his plans. At the same time, we would like to tell him that the NATO is a community of nations, and it's not only about the purely military issues, but it's about the building the Euro-Atlantic community, which is living in peace. That's tremendously human task, actually. And those meetings are important because you have to have people meeting and talking to each other and planning together. And of course, we understand the expectations of President Trump from the allies. And we not only understand them, I mean, we are already doing, for the sake of our defense, what we have to do. And I think this is something President Trump expects from two allies. So I think we will have a good meeting in May in Brussels.
And last question, you have a novel leasing arrangement for your Gripen aircraft, obviously made by Saab in Sweden. Are you guys interested in the newer version of the airplane and continuing the modernization cycle that you have with the existing airplanes, but are you also interested in the new jet?
Well, I mean, we are having a leasing contract till 2027 with option for next 2 years if we will decide to go for the option. So our thinking about the new plane should start sometime 2022. Right now we are satisfied. Our Gripens are going through the upgrades. They are gaining additional capabilities for the air-to-ground operations. So we are actually increasing the capabilities right now when it comes to Czech Gripens, and we are satisfied with the planes. Very good plane for very good price.
Sir, thanks very much, and hopefully we'll see you in Prague one of these days.
Yeah, thank you. Come to Prague, yeah, and come to Brussels.
Exactly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.